Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's your good friend AirsoftMan819 here again with yet another review. Today's review is going to be on another Archos device. Today's review is going to be on the Archos 605 Wi-Fi. But wait a minute, haven't I already done a review on this exact device? And the answer to that question would be yes, I actually have done a review on the Archos 605 Wi-Fi. But the model of the Archos 605 Wi-Fi I did a review on was the 80 gigabyte hard drive model. Not too recently, it's been a while ago. I've just been kind of lazy in making videos. Well, not lazy. I have depression and mental illness and stuff, so I don't always have the motivation to make YouTube videos, so that's why I just, sometimes go awry for a while, but I always come back. But anyways, I somewhat recently acquired this much more rare version of the Archos 605 Wi-Fi that doesn't have a hard drive at all. So I wanted to go ahead and show you guys this model because unfortunately my 605 hard drive model is no longer with us. The hard drive in it has went bad, unfortunately. So this is a good alternative if you're wanting to get an Archos device without the risk of having a hard drive go bad on you. Because the issue with the Archos devices are, the hard drive models in particular, is that when the hard drives are very fragile to begin with and they're getting very old at this stage. But when the hard drives do go bad, even if you can find a replacement, a brand new one, you can't put it in because the hard drives are serialed to the devices. So pretty much once the hard drive goes bad, your device just turns into a plastic and metal brick. But this is a device that will not happen on because it is completely flash based. There is no moving parts. It uses solid state storage. This is the 4 gigabyte model, if I can find where it says it at. Is it? Where in the heck? It must be on the other end of the box. Yep, I hid it for myself. So it's on this end of the inner box. I just had it in there wrong. But it comes with 4 gigabytes of internal memory, but it has an SD card slot so you can add SD cards. So the same stuff comes with this that comes with the original, so I'm not going to go over it a whole lot. You just have where the Archos would go, and underneath you have your paperwork and your cables and your DVR station, saddle, and all of that stuff that you would need. If you want to see all of the details about the inside of the box, because I did not get this new. I got this used and actually had to repair it. It had a defective battery that wouldn't really hold a charge, so I had to actually take it apart and put a new battery in it. So not everything came with this in the first place, although it did come with the box. Didn't come with a cable, didn't come with some of the stuff, didn't come with its original sleeve. So I stole the sleeve from the 80 gigabyte. They use the same sleeve. All the Archos 605s will fit in the same sleeve, so it really doesn't matter. So go ahead and slide this out. So right off the bat, you can see it's a lot thinner. I don't have the other one to compare it to because it's dead, but you can see it's a lot thinner. The thinness of it is more akin to the 404 that I did a review on. It's just the screen is much bigger. And there's not really a whole lot extra to show on here because this is pretty much the same model. It even has the kickstand in the same place. It just is a little bit of different shape, so you still can pull out the kickstand there and set the device down while you're watching a movie or a video on it. So a few other differences. The back on this is metal. There's a lot more metal on this device, whereas the other one there was a little bit more plastic. Still has the Wi-Fi antenna built in, obviously. On the top, you have an additional SD card slot, which you use to expand the memory. I have an 8 gigabyte SD card in here right now. I think the biggest that this supports is 16 gigabytes. You have to think at the time, SD cards weren't that big, so you really couldn't expect to get that much support for storage on this. 8 gigabytes really for a couple movies and some music and stuff is more than enough. 16 gigabytes is fine. But the nice thing is it can read down all the way to the old ones that are very low capacity, like these 512 megabyte ones. Can read these as well, just standard SDHC cards. So, and it even comes with a little blank. If you don't want to use your SD card at the moment, you can put this little blank in here, and that'll keep the slot covered. You have the same buttons. You have your power button and your TV LCD button. You have your same rocker switches over here, OK, back, skip, you have your arrow keys, menu, your volume rocker. The speaker on this actually is a little bigger and a little louder, which is nice. I guess they didn't have as much room for a bigger speaker in the hard drive model, but with this one they did. So, like I said, the battery on this was defective, and I did have to replace it. I had a little bit of trouble getting in this thing because it's just so darn thin. But you take these two screws out, pop this end cap off that has the kickstand, and this whole metal back slides off, and you can pull it off, and the battery's right behind here. So replacing the battery, once you actually find a battery to put in here, sorry, there's a little bit of dirt on the side here. Replacing the battery isn't that bad once you actually find a battery to put in here. So it uses the same ports as the other 605 models. Obviously, you have your DVR station port, and you have your charge port. Uses the same proprietary Archos plug that has a little metal tab on it. So you put the metal tab in the middle there, and there you go. You're ready to connect it to your charger or your computer, wherever you're going to connect it to. Because this cable transfers both data and power, so you can charge it and hook it up to a computer with this one cable, which actually at this time was fairly innovative, because a lot of times you needed a separate AC adapter and a separate USB cable to charge and transfer data. You have your headphone jack over here, your TV and charge lights. You have no hard drive indicator light because this doesn't have a hard drive. So I'll go ahead and turn it on. I have a couple custom themes on here I'll show you guys, but I'm not going to go over this thing for super long because you guys have already seen it. This is just, it's basically the biggest difference that I've seen with this is you get better battery life. The device itself is thinner, a lot more durable, and video and music is a lot more responsive on here. You can watch a movie a lot more distraction free. With the hard drive model, the video would skip occasionally. It wasn't enough to distract you, but it was just enough to bother you. Whereas with this, because it's flash based, it's not waiting for a hard drive to spin up or anything. So you have way more responsiveness. So I'm not going to play any videos or anything on here because you guys have already seen what this looks like playing videos. It's literally the same thing. The neat thing about this one in particular is whoever owned this before me, I have a custom Pac-Man theme on here, by the way. One cool thing you can do, hopefully I'm not breaking any copyright rules by doing this, is you can set custom wallpapers. I have a few different on here. I have the Doomslayer guy, I have the Pac-Man one, I have this colorful skull. We'll go with colorful skull. So you go to menu here, set as wallpaper, and bam, now we have colorful skull. And you can change the color of the text and the background colors and stuff like that. So we're going to connect this thing to the Wi-Fi, to the internet, because we can do that. Because whoever bought this before me, let's go over here to settings. This is a setting I didn't show in the original 605 video because it wasn't relevant, but we'll go to firmware and plugins to see what the person before me ponied up and bought. And we can see we have the web browser plugin, which was a $30 plugin back in the day, by the way. So sweet. So we can actually go online because this old browser still works if I can manage to reach my Wi-Fi router from the garage. That'll be interesting. I'm not going to do a whole lot on here because this isn't protected. This is a very old web browser that does not have the protections that we have these days. So I'm not going to do a lot, but I will show you guys that you, matter of fact, can do stuff. So like the hard drive model, you can see we're on Google. Like the hard drive model, the 605, all the models have a touchscreen. So to type, you need your stylus. So we are actually on Google on a tiny pre-Android tablet from 2007. So, oh, see, this is an issue because this isn't a modern browser. It asks you to accept stuff all the time. So we'll just type something innocent and mundane in here if it'll let us. Okay. Sorry, it's hard to type through the camera lens. Okay. It's actually pretty responsive to type. Okay. So we'll just hit the enter key there. And there we go. Go ahead and accept it. Accept it. Not bad. It's already loaded the web page. We'll go over to images. I can't believe this thing still works on the... Yeah. You can even use the arrow keys to scroll down. So I'm online with this device in 2022. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Let's see how responsive it is on a web page. Let's go over back to all. It's weird. It's rendering like some sort of mobile version of Google. So it's like Google recognizes this as some sort of mobile device. Let's try a Wikipedia page. That seems like a... browser's too old. That's what I was worried about. We'll have to go back. I closed out of it completely. Did not mean to do that. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video on the Archos 605 Wi-Fi flash model, the 4 GB flash model. Now, there is a 2 GB flash model, but it is the 405, which is 2 inches smaller than this. As far as I know, this is the only size of the 605 flash model that you could get was the 4 GB, but obviously you can't expand that. This is a much better device to have if you're actually going to use the device regularly, because like I said, you don't have to risk destroying it as soon as you drop it. You don't have to worry about replacing the hard drive. If it does go bad, your battery life's going to be a lot better, and you're actually going to be able to watch the videos you have on here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video, and if you guys like the Archos devices, make sure to go to my channel and check out the other 2 Archos device reviews I've done. And I do have another Archos device planned to do a review on, the biggest and most difficult one to find, and have some even more interesting stuff to do videos on. So stay tuned for that. It will be coming. I'm just a little bit slow. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you later. Goodbye.